3 years ago, a hero surgeon killed my dad and covered it up. Today, I started my first shift as his new nurse, and he has no idea I'm here to find the proof he buried. The hallway smelled of antiseptic and something vaguely like lemon-scented floor polish. It was a clean smell, a sterile smell, designed to reassure you that you were in a place of healing. But to me, it was the smell of a tomb. I walked past the nurse's station, my new scrubs crisp and unfamiliar, my face set in a mask of calm professionalism I didn't feel. 3 years, 1,095 days. Every single one was for this moment. The head nurse, a woman with a tired but kind face, led me toward the surgical ward. Dr. Finch is just finishing up his morning rounds, she said, her voice full of a reverence that made my stomach clench. He likes to meet all the new hires personally. You're lucky. He's the best there is. I just nodded, my throat too tight to speak, and then I saw him. He was standing in the middle of a hallway, surrounded by a sea of residents in white coats, all of them hanging on his every word. He was exactly as I remembered from that horrible day. Tall, silver-haired, with a smile so charming and confident it could sell salvation. He looked like a god in scrubs. The head nurse cleared her throat. Dr. Finch? This is our new surgical nurse, Anna. She gestured to me, and all those bright, adoring faces turned in my direction. Dr. Finch's eyes met mine. They were a brilliant, piercing blue. The same eyes that had looked at my mother with practiced sympathy as he explained how my father died from an unpreventable complication. I felt a jolt, a surge of pure, cold hatred that I had to physically suppress. I kept my breathing even. I held my expression neutral. He walked toward me, his hand outstretched. He didn't recognize me. Of course he didn't. I was just another face, another uniform. To him, I wasn't the grieving daughter he'd lied to 3 years ago. I was just new. Welcome to the team, he said, his voice smooth and deep. His handshake was firm, confident, the handshake of a man who had never been questioned in his life. I only hire the best. The moment stretched, charged with everything I couldn't say. I forced a smile, the muscles in my face feeling stiff and foreign. It's an honor to work with you, doctor, I said, and the lie tasted like poison in my mouth. That night, in my small, empty apartment, I pulled out a worn photograph from my wallet. It was me and my dad taken years ago at a baseball game. He had his arm around me, and we were both laughing, his face so full of life it hurt to look at. I traced the outline of his smile with my thumb. I'm in, Dad, I whispered to the photograph, my voice a raw, broken sound in the quiet room. I'm in, and I swear to you, I'll make him pay. The mission had officially begun. And I knew every single day from now on would be a test of how well I could hide the truth. My dad was the kind of man who seemed indestructible. He ran 5 miles every morning, could fix anything with duct tape and a bit of creativity, and had a laugh that could fill a stadium. When he told us he needed a routine bypass surgery, he said it like he was talking about getting an oil change. Just a little tune-up, he joked, ruffling my hair. I'll be back on my feet in a week. We chose Dr. Finch because he was the best. His face was on billboards, his name in magazines. The surgeon with the golden hands, they called him. I was a pre-med student at the time, and even I was in awe of his reputation. We weren't just getting a doctor, we were getting a legend. The day of the surgery, we sat in the waiting room, a sterile beige box filled with the low hum of anxiety. Hours passed. Finally, the door opened and Dr. Finch walked in. His face then was a masterpiece of practiced sympathy. He walked over to my mother, knelt down, and took her hands in his. His voice was a soft, mournful melody. I'm so sorry, he began. There was a complication. A 1 in a million embolism. There was nothing we could do. It was unpreventable. My mother just crumpled. Her wail was a sound I will never forget as long as I live. Finch stayed there, a pillar of calm compassion, holding her hand while our world fell apart. He handed her a thick folder before he left. The official report, he said. It details everything. A textbook procedure with a tragic, unforeseeable outcome. For weeks, that report sat on our coffee table, a closed file of our family's grief. My mother couldn't bring herself to open it, but I had to. I was a scientist, a pre-med student. I needed to understand the why. So one night I sat down and read it, page after page of clinical jargon, surgical notes, and medication logs. It all looked perfect, too perfect. And then I saw it. Don't stop here. Full story continues on the channel. Link below.